Hey there, comic book fans. It's Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and here I am in the car, headed to another new comic book day at Third Eye Comics in Annapolis, Maryland. Third Eye Comics is my go-to shop for new comic books in the Baltimore area, and that's not to put down any of the other LCSs. There are some great shops that I've spotlighted on this channel before, but I choose Third Eye Comics. Their Annapolis location, by the way, that's their main hub, that's their main shop. They buy so many new comics each and every week that they have all kinds of variant options, as well as a lot of different ratios each and every week if you're into that kind of thing. And I just like having those chances to be able to pick up these things like that. As you have seen on some of my previous new comic book day videos, especially when I'm on the road, a lot of LCSs don't buy as many books as Third Eye, and sometimes some of the variants that I'm looking for are just not available. So even though I'm going down later today than I normally go down, normally I'm there by 11 o'clock and I go in just as the doors are opening for the day, and I'm usually one of the first people in the door. Today it's going to be awfully late. I'm sitting here in traffic, that's why I'm going pretty slow right now, and it's going to be late. Hopefully there won't be a lot of people in there so I can do some filming, and hopefully there won't be any books that are missing that are off my list. Hopefully they haven't all been snapped up or anything. But again, Third Eye buys so many copies. That first day, chances are most of the things that I'm looking for are going to be there. So when I get down there, I will film like I normally do in the shop of all the new comic books, and then I'll come home, bag and board everything I pick up, and we'll sit down and do a little show and tell and talk about the books for this new comic book day. So stay tuned and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I just finished up at Third Eye Comics, picked up some of the comics I was looking for. Once I get home and bag and board everything, we'll sit down and do a little show and tell. So stay tuned and I'll be right back. All right, everybody, I made it back home and I bagged and boarded all the new comics I picked up this week. I'm going to start off with the very first book right here that is on my pull list, actually, at Third Eye Comics. It is The Amazing Spider-Man. This is issue number 57. We still have John Romita Jr. on artwork, and at this point, we're so close to the end of the Zeb Wells run that I am just going to continue finishing up this entire run and be done with it. And I can't say that I really enjoyed it, although I think I actually enjoyed this issue more than I have most of the previous issues, especially with Tombstone there. I kind of dig what's going on with this issue as opposed to what was going on during the gang war that was leading up to issue 50. Pretty decent issue overall. Still have some of that lackluster John Romita Jr. artwork, and we'll talk about him a little bit later on another book. Actually, we're going to talk about him on the next book. Now, I didn't pick it up, but the big book this week really for me was Wolverine #1, From the Ashes. We got Wolverine #1 right there. And I actually picked up the John Tyler Christopher negative space cover as well. That's really, really nice. Let's try not knocking it over. What I didn't pick up was the variant. It was a ratio by John Romita Jr., and it was sort of a homage to Frank Miller's Wolverine #1, and I really didn't like it. There's just something missing there. I can't tell if he needs a better inker. I think Scott Hanna is not really doing him any favors. Don't really know what's going on, but I encourage you guys to look up that artwork for Wolverine #1, The Ratio by John Romita Jr., and let me know your thoughts on this. I like both of these. Now, I got the regular issue right here because I had failed to pre-order this book, even though I had been reordering all of the new X-Men as they started with their new #1s. But for some reason, I missed this. I think it got mixed in with some of the Bloodline #1s as well, because they did have a Bloodline Wolverine #1, and I'm not really big on those little miniseries like that, on individual characters like that, so I didn't order that, and I think I just lost track of this. So I wanted to get the regular issue right there, but I saw also this John Tyler Christopher cover was fantastic. This is something that needs to get signed at some point. Now, talking about getting things signed, I did pick up this right here. Now, I've got a pre-order, but I'm not sure if it'll be in time for the Baltimore Comic-Con. It is issue number 5 of Space Ghost, and it is the variant cover by Michael Cho. And I've been digging all of the Michael Cho covers on this series, and I've already got them bagged and boarded, ready to go to Baltimore Comic-Con. So Michael Cho is going to be there, and my plan is to get every one of these signed. Can't wait to meet him. I've met him before about a year ago at Heroes Con, and I've got some posters, some of his really good X-Men and Spider-Man artwork. I've got those hanging in the office, and I'm looking forward to getting these books signed by him. Also, speaking of getting things signed, although it's a week too late, or a few days too late, was this right here. It is the archive edition to Something's Killing Children #1. And this is a perfect reprint of issue #1. The only difference is it says right up here under #1, archive edition, right there. And I would have loved to have had this over the previous weekend because we had James Tynion IV was there at Third Eye Comics doing a signing, and I know I would have gotten this one signed as well. I got some other variant #1s signed while I was there, and I hope you guys get a chance to check out that video. Honestly, I cannot tell you when that video is going to come out compared to when this video comes out. I've been doing these new comic book day videos that come out on Wednesdays, but the sequence sometimes can be mixed up depending on what dates I've got things scheduled. So I'm not sure if that you're already going to have seen the James Tynion signing episode before this or after this, but I wish I had had this for the signing because I definitely would have gotten that signed. In fact, I picked up 2 copies of that right there. Now, a book that was not on my radar, but I seem to always gravitate toward it because the talent is immense, and they're fun books. I mean, they're funny books, right? We've got Sergio, I'm going to mispronounce this. I always do. Sergio Aragonus? How do you say it, guys? I never knew that. Gru Minstrel Melodies. And I wasn't going to get this, but I've been a fan of Gru over the years, but only in small doses, not in great doses. And it's been a while since I've read a Gru story. So I went in and picked this up, and the thing that really impresses me is that you still have Mark Evanier working on this with Sergio, and you still have Stan Sakai doing the lettering. I mean, that's amazing with all the amount of work that Stan Sakai does on Usagi Jimbo and Space Usagi, that he has time to do this too. So I did pick that up more as a tribute to Stan than anything else, but I've always enjoyed Gru, again, in small doses, and it's been a while. So I picked this up, and that was the end of the new comic books that I picked up this week. Not a lot of books, right? Well, that means I'm doing the right thing. I'm making choices 2 to 3 months in advance when I put that pre-order in with my subscription service, M&M Comics. That means I ordered for this particular week. I did pretty good ordering things. Really, the only thing I missed was, what was it right here? Was Wolverine #1. That was the only thing that I failed to pre-order. Now, the variants, that's a different story. Those, sometimes I might not see the artwork on the previews magazine or in the website. So I definitely would have overlooked that. But everything else right here, I know I've already got a pre-order on that, but I wanted additional copies. As I said, this right here, Space Ghost, is already pre-ordered, but I don't think it's going to make it in time for the Baltimore Comic-Con. And I do get this pre-ordered as well, but sometimes I'll do the, even though Third Eye does the regular cover, I will do variant covers through M&M Comics. But that was not the end of the new comics that I picked up, just not new comics for this week. A couple weeks ago, a book came out, and I didn't hear a lot of fanfare for it when it came out, and I was intrigued by the artwork. And I wasn't sure of what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be more of a modern day telling. It looks like it's very futuristic, so into the future somewhat. And I think it was such an offbeat type of story. It was unexpected. And let me show it to you here. I picked up additional copies. I picked up 2 of these of Aliens versus Avengers. I picked up 2 copies of that right there, of issue #1. And this is a book on Key Collector, is a hot trending book. This is a very popular book right here. You've got Jonathan Hickman writing. You've got Asad Ribic doing the artwork. And I will tell you this, the artwork is fantastic in this. It's really, really fits this style, this futuristic setting with the Avengers, some of the characters. I mean, everything really just falls into place in this book so far. Right now, this is one of the most exciting books I've seen in the last couple weeks, and I will continue with this series. But when I went back in, now I'd already picked up a copy of this, but being a top 10 trending book, I went ahead and picked up a couple of additional copies for cover price at the LCS, and I've still got my discount for being a box holder there at Third Eye. So it's a little bit off of that, 10% I think. But you go on eBay and these things are going for $8 or $9 plus shipping. And I figured, well, my LCS still has a ton of these left over. So I went ahead and picked that up while I had the chance for cover price, right? But I also, because it is a trending book, and I didn't pick this up initially because although I like a lot of his covers, I don't like every one of them. And I tend not to buy every one of them. But Scotty Young has a cover for Aliens versus Avengers as well. And I guess that's a little bit of that speculator coming in. If the book's a top trending book, then, and Scotty Young is so popular, let's go ahead and get this book. That's a book that may, depending on where this book goes in the future, I may save that for a future signing with Scotty Young. But guys, that's it. Quick video for a new comic book day. You'll have to let me know what you picked up on this particular new comic book day by leaving me a comment in the comment section below. And if you guys like this episode and want to see more episodes just like this, definitely hit that like, slap the subscribe, and click on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the episodes I put out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. All right, guys, enough of the sales pitch. I'm out of here. You guys have a great day, and remember, every comic
has a story.